Hi there folks, welcome back. Part 2 of the Austin engine. This engine allegedly from a K5 which was used during World War II. Been donated to the museum to be a display. Whether it's a silent display or not is what we're trying to establish. Now in part 1, if you haven't seen that, link in the description, you'll see what state this came in. We've progressed, it rotates. It may contain issues in the bottom end, I don't know. We've found a few marks here and there which might just give us some of its history. And we've got a lot of parts to have a look through just to see how complete it really is. So, let's take a closer look. I suspect it might be raining, but I'll go look outside and just confirm it. Well, it has to be said, she's looking a lot happier than as she arrived. However, she's far from perfect. Been noticing a few interesting numbers on her which might actually indicate some of her history. I'm no Austin expert. In fact, first time I've seen one of these kind of in the flesh apart, semi-apart. But I did notice on the block there is what looks like a 1041. Is that a casting code for when it was made? I.e., 10th month 1941? Don't know. It's been rebuilt, as you can see there. Now, I know that one is going to fall apart as soon as I touch it because it's, But that says it's got a undersized crank, but the bore size is standard. Yes, and that'll be the engine number. Yeah, not many more markings. Managed to free the dipstick off, and it's got oil in it. Well, it's got something in it. Well, that's a good sign, which is not dry in there. So, some of the more markings I've come across. We've got an 1157 there, and I wonder if that's when it was rebuilt, i.e. November 1957. Each cylinder has a number 2 stamped, and then it's got what looks like a mark that's been crossed out, sometimes twice. But the 2s are consistent, and I'm wondering if it says standard bore. However, pistons usually are graded in different sizes, and I'm wondering if it was maybe on the smallest size of the grade, and they put the larger side of the grade in and honed it out to suit. Hence, different number. Just my thoughts. Also notice there's another mark in there. Is that what they've taken off the deck? Any experts out there who might know, please comment below. So, if it wasn't for those 2 middle cylinders, I'd be a happy cat right now because it's looking quite promising that it could run. It rotates well. As you can see, I've just cobbled together a very primitive hand turning tool which has less leverage than, say, on the engine of Rosie there. But let's just demonstrate how well it rotates. Right. Yeah. I'm not saying it's easy with this short little tool. And that's pushing a load of water out of the oil, which suggests the oil pump works. Yep. Well, as you can see, she rotates quite freely, folks. It's going to be noted there's a bit of a noise when rotating, and I'm just wondering if it's actually the little ends that's a little bit tight, and it's giving a lot of piston rock. So yeah, the engine's rebuildable. We've established that. So running on these cylinders, you'll save comment till I've run the hone through them, but that's not going to happen for a while. It's going to be packed away for winter because there's a lot on the go at the moment. So yeah, we're definitely going to need a few parts. So if you've got anything kicking about, for one, even the front pulley has got a chunk out of it. I need a water pump. A missing head stud there, hoping that's in with the other bits and pieces. There's a breather missing off there. Fuel pump. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be quite a list. Well, really, I should do some research on these engines. Anyway, let's push this to one side and see what else came. So, here we have the cylinder head. As you can see, this is an overhead valve engine. I like these combustion chambers. They're kind of cute looking. So I'm using my phone because it tends to pick the detail up a bit better. Right, so we've got, that's an exhaust. And that seat doesn't look bad for an exhaust. Inlet, inlet. Exhaust, exhaust, inlet, inlet, exhaust, exhaust, inlet, inlet, exhaust. Yeah. Bit of rust in there, but that should clear out. And looking in there was quite a carbon build-up as well. Well, that is why you had what was known as a decoke back then, when you take the cylinder head off and get rid of all the carbon, clean it all out. One thing that's noticeable, it's absolutely full of crud in that cooling system. So you'll definitely need a blowout. So yeah, 12 valves with cute faces. That's an exhaust port which serves that cylinder, but then that port feeds the two inlets. That exhaust port is for those two exhaust ports, and so on and so on. It's not the most efficient head in the modern world of performance. Probably a compression ratio of about 6:1, what with these relatively big chambers. And the dish pistons, they probably ran on very low octane fuel. We're talking almost paraffin, folks. So I'll turn the head over, we can have a look at the other side. So a view of the top side and said ports. Yeah, you can see in there how they're split into two. Not oily. Yeah, that's from running. That's sort of like, how to say, out the oil. Basically carbon. What does that say? Definitive date would be nice. So far I'm not seeing one. What's that? Yeah, I might just clean that up and see if that is actually a number. Alright, so I've just cleaned off them two bits. I'm guessing that with the head casting number. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If it had said 45 at the end instead of just 5, that would have been nice. Anybody out there know what these casting marks are? What they relate to? So yeah, it looks like a head we can do something with. Even the plug holes look pretty good. Yeah. So we'll put this to one side and have a look in the one box and the rocker cover full of bits and bobs has got in it. So what's in the box? Well, that is for the thermostat, and actually bolts onto the head there. So, valve springs. How many have we got? Mm-hmm. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like we're building a 5-cylinder, folks. So what have we got valve-wise? That says in. Yeah, look at that. That one's got EX on it for exhaust. That's nice of them. Question is 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we've got a full complement of valves. They don't actually look that bad. Seen a lot worse. How many of these have we got? Step these down here. Guessing that's what the springs sit on. I don't like the fact there's a hole in the box. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right for them? Yes. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. What's that? Right, so we've got 2 valve springs missing, 2 collet retainers missing, and 2 of those are missing. Right, I'll count up these little collets and I'll bring you back. Right, I'm quite surprised. We have all the valve collets. These actually around the valve in that area. 2 of them, one either side, and then they sit into that little recess there, which is tapered. And then these little clips obviously go around the top there, just locking them together, which is, yeah, not something you normally see. But they're all present and correct. These are for the manifold, for where it bolts to the head, because as you can see, there's no holes for bolts except on the ends. Yeah, we've got one of those missing. So yeah, so far 2 valve springs, those retainers, and these that go under the valve spring we need to find. We need another one of those. I'll make one. So let's have a look in the rocker cover and what golden gems lie in there. So what delights do we have in here? I'd say that's probably a clamp for the ignition coil. Push rods. How many of these will we have? Rocker arms and the rocker shaft. Which, nice and oily, which is always good. You going to focus on those arms? Yeah, they're not that bad. A little bit of wear on them, but nothing serious. Tail will be under there where they wear. But at least it's oily, so it stops it going rusty. Right, next up. That's the push rods out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So we've got a push rod missing. Okay. That's definitely some kind of oil fitting. I suspect that maybe goes with that. Manifold bolts. And lots of other, yeah, I'm going to have to do something with all those. That little pipe, I believe, goes into there and attaches to the head. It was missing one of those, so we've got a full complement. Yeah, manifold bolt, the missing head bolt. Yeah, that's for the inlet manifold, and would attach this pipe on it, which would actually go down to the brake servo. Yeah, we're probably lacking some nuts and bolts as well, but such is life. Yeah, we'll get those out of there and have a look at the cover itself. Has to be said, the rocker cover's a bit patinaed, should we call it? Yeah. So at least we know what we've got now. Not quite enough to put it together, that is for certain. We do need 1 or 2 bits and pieces. Well, I think what I'm going to do is actually wrap this engine up for winter. The workshop tends to be a bloody shit show of condensation and things, It's not good having open engines. So what I might do is actually sit the head on it, etc, etc. Possibly put some grease down the bars. And then wrap her up. And we'll debate over Christmas, etc. which way we'll go with this. I think what I'll do next is just have a bit of a clean up of this head face and the valve seats. We'll just see how they look. Still think these combustion chambers are cute. So yeah, I'll give it a clean and then we can take a closer look. So just giving it a light clean over on the face and in the combustion chambers around the valve seats. And that's number 6, number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1. It's also noted this one's an exhaust, and there's a distinct line there which shows that this has actually got hardened valve seats. So, should actually be good for unleaded petrol when it comes to the valves. However, unleaded petrol and old engines, especially the modern unleaded, bad combination. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. I've just grabbed 2 valves at random. As you can see on there, it says in, so it's an inlet. And when we look on there, there is 1, 2, 3, 5 doors, which would mean cylinder number 5. So it's an inlet, so it's that one. Let's just pop her in there. Hang on. Yeah. There's a little bit of play in there, but that's not too bad. And that one's an exhaust. I'm going to say number 3. So that's the exhaust, because it's got the insert. That is a really nice fit. Yeah. So it looks like the cylinder head itself is going to be usable. I don't think we'll be doing any porting or anything like that. If we get it running, it is literally just going to be a bog standard engine, folks. Right. I think on that bombshell, that'll do for today. Well, folks, it's Saturday. We have a storm rushing up the west coast of the UK. It's in Wales, I believe. I'm over on the east coast, but the wind is definitely getting up now. So yeah, you're going to have to excuse the noise, folks. So, 1 cylinder head gasket made of copper. You're going to have to excuse the wind, folks. It's possible this dates back to the 1950s. And it's been abused. Obviously you can't use it again. But like I say, I'm going to put this engine to bed for winter. And I might just lay that on the block and sit the head on it. I so need a workshop that doesn't rattle in the wind. So, as I already mentioned, I'm packing this engine away over winter. Got a little too much on the go to make a start on it. So yeah, I've just put some grease down the cylinder bars. I'm going to lay the head gasket on the top and then lay the head on top of that, folks. That wind is really doing my head in, folks. Right, let's There's front at the front. Will it just slip back on? Put a layer of oil on the deck surface as well. Right, and sit the head on there. Well, that's just a coating of oil over everything. Hopefully that should stop any corrosion over winter. So next up I'll just get the head in place. So the valve seats weren't too bad. The valves, yeah, could be better. It's not even a match set, so it's had replacements at some point. But yeah, what I'm going to do is actually give them a coating of oil and just sit them on the top side of the head. At least I know where they are then. So I'll do that now. As you can see, I've just sat them literally in there. Stems with a bit of oil on them, stop them going rusty. Well, there's one thing, they're not like really slack. I mean, yeah, I ain't cleaned them out yet, but I think what I'm also going to do is sit the rocker shaft and rocker arms back on there, and then throw the cover on the top, and I think I'll find some old spark plugs just to fill those holes, and then that'll just leave hanging a manifold on there. Then we can consider her ready for winter. Well, that's the rocker shaft and rocker arms just sat in place. Chucked Rosie's old spark plugs in it for now. So I'll just finish up putting a couple of bits back on, and then that's it for this one. I think these cow farts are getting out of hand, folks. Anyway, I found something. Granted, it's not easy to see, but that's definitely a part number, casting number. But this one, I don't know, I had it in the light a minute ago and it looked like the 8th of the 11th, and then, because that definitely looks like 11, and is that 41, 44? Don't know on that, folks. If you know, let me know in the comments. Definitely a bit blowy, folks. Right, she's kind of back together. We can put her to bed, let her hibernate over winter. Yeah, she's a nice looking thing. Be absolutely fantastic if we could get it running. However, she does need quite a few parts. I mean, almost to the point I could do with a complete scrap engine just for all the nuts and bolts that are missing. And then there'll be things like we'll need a gasket set. We'll need core plugs, probably a distributor because that one's just broken there where the rotor arm sits. Somebody might confirm what these numbers mean. If you have more information on these engines you would like to share, please get in touch, folks. So yeah, for now, that's it on this engine. But come the spring we shall unpack her, and depending on what we've squirreled away over winter to help maybe rebuild this engine, we'll take it from there. Would be nice to see it running. If any of you good people out there can help, please get in touch. Be nice to see it running, folks. Well folks, the cow fart storm getting a bit loud in here, so I think I'm going to call it a day. So for now, that's it for the Austin. If you can offer any help, donate any parts to help get it running, please get in touch below, and we shall see this old girl again come spring. So on that bombshell, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and all that jazz. Catch you on the next one.